Welcome back, guys, for a playthrough of Pokemon Gold version. Okay, so a couple things. If you've been following along on the playthrough so far, you'll know that I have done things a little bit differently. You'll notice that on the overlay here that I have a different Pokemon than the Sentret I had before, and now I have a Cyndaquil. In fact, I have all three starters, and that's because in the last episode of the playthrough, I showed you a method in which you can get all three of the Gen 2 starters. So we have Totodile, Cyndaquil, and Chikorita in our party. That being said, I'm not particularly interested in keeping Chikorita around, but I'm thinking Totodile will be the main. Okay, that's how it started out when we first started the playthrough. Cyndaquil, I kind of want to have around as well because I like it, but I don't know if it's going to make it all the way to the Elite Four. Chikorita is going to go in the box. I will get a Sentret because I do want Furret really bad on the team, but the problem is that it's obviously nighttime and Sentret doesn't show up at night, at least in the general area that I'm at. I don't know if it's, I feel like maybe that might be like a general thing for Sentret across like the whole game, but I don't know. I'll have to take a look. But anyway, Hoot shows up at night and it's nighttime, so I'm running into a lot of that in the wild. But nonetheless, if you want to see how you can get all three starters at the beginning of your game, check out episode number 3 of the Pokemon Gold playthrough and follow the instructions there. I tried to make it as easy as possible. I also added some notes in the description box and in a pinned comment, just some other like little details that you might want to know before getting started. But anyway, I know it's cheating, I know, but like, whatever. Anyway, so now we're gonna head on into the next town and try to get our first gym badge, unless there's something else that kicks off before we're able to do that. I don't know, it might be a little bit early to get our first gym badge, but Falkner shouldn't be a problem, and his flying type Pokemon are relatively weak. I think 2 level 10s should be more than enough. But like I said, Totodile's our main. We're going to keep him around. He's at level 10 now. Oh, he's like right on the cusp of leveling up. And then we also have level 2 Caterpie. What are you going to do? And then we also have our Cyndaquil, which is at level 10, but I don't think it's like going to level up right there. I'm also going to give myself a little bit of a challenge. If you'll indulge me for a moment. Back when I was doing my Pokemon Yellow playthrough, we had Pikachu as a starter, right? Obviously. And then we got Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle. We got those 3 starters, as you do, right? They're all very easy to obtain. And I told myself that I was going to have all 3 of them in their base forms for quite a while. Because I thought it would be fun, for one, because I like their base forms more than I like their mid-tier evolutions, which is also true for these starters as well. I don't really care about Croconaw and Quilava. They're kind of lame. So what I ended up doing was I kept all 3 of the Kanto starters in their base first stage until they hit level 35, and then they all evolved in their second stage. And then I had 3 rare candies on me at that time, which I then gave 1 each, and then boom, they all evolved to level 36. I think there's a little bit of a difference between the Kanto and the Johto starters in terms of like what levels they evolve. I'll have to double check. I think Totodile evolves the earliest of the 3 this time around. In this case, though, I'm going to have Totodile and Cyndaquil both on the team for a little bit, and I think I'm going to keep them in their base forms until I get to a reasonable level. Let's find out, actually, because this will depend on whether or not I do it. So Cyndaquil. Alright, so Cyndaquil evolves into Quilava at 17, which is really weird. And then it evolves into Typhlosion. Oh no, it evolves into Quilava at 14. Oh, that's weird. And then it evolves into Typhlosion at 36. In the Hisuian version, so if you're playing like Legends Arceus, then Cyndaquil evolves into Quilava at 17, and then the Hisuian version of Typhlosion, which is actually really cool. That ghost type was dope, at level 36. Okay, so that's good. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look. Now we're going to look up at Totodile. So this one is interesting. Huh. 17 and 36. So for Totodile, though, let's find out what he evolves in. So he evolves into Croconaw at 18 and then 30. Is that the earliest that a starter has ever evolved at 30? Because I can't recall that. Okay, so I guess we'll keep Totodile and Cyndaquil to 35. And then we'll evolve them. Well, we'll keep them until 34, and then 35 they'll evolve into their next stage, and then 36 they'll evolve into their final stage. Just because I want to go with the common, or the one that evolves the latest. That's how we're going to keep them, I think. I'm not 100% sure. It depends on how things go, but that's what I want to do. Although I also think that there's a handful of Pokemon that I plan on getting on the team that should also make the playthrough a little more interesting. One One of the things I was thinking about, and I mentioned this before, is that I want to really pursue a different team than I normally do. I think there's so many times where I'm playing games, Pokemon games in particular, and I have like the exact same Pokemon team like every time. And I try to mix it up a little bit, like 1 or 2 Pokemon, but for the most part, I always go with like the starter, Alakazam, you know what I mean? It's just the same thing. So this time around, because we have so much of a wider variety of Pokemon in Gen 2, and a lot of my favorites are in Gen 2, we are going to mix it up big time. So I'm actually looking at a list of Pokemon that I want to have on the team, in addition to a sheet of, or like a Word document that I have open, on the locations where we can find some of the Pokemon that I really want on the team. I don't want to reveal what they are just yet, because I think it'll be fun to kind of like, you know, see how things go together in the future, and I don't want to set the wrong expectation of like, these are the Pokemon that I want, and then I change my mind, because, you know, I do that. I found a good Pokemon in Dark Cave. I'm gonna raise it to take on Falkner. He's the leader of Violet City's gym, which should be right here. Violet City, Cherry Grove City, yep. Yeah, we don't need any water here, we can just move on. Okay, so I think I saved it like right here. Alright, so now we're here in Violet City. I'm going to deposit Chikorita, which is, again, why I don't have it in the overlay down below. Because I got it for the sake of having it. I didn't actually care. Actually, there is one thing that I want to look at. I didn't care to have on the team. Okay, so I was thinking about this. So when you start a Pokemon game, you are given a trainer ID. And I've talked about this at great length in past episodes. Where, like, it's always, like, it makes sense why, but it still bothers me that if I'm playing a Pokemon Red and Blue, let's just say, whatever, Pokemon Red, I have trainer ID, number, whatever. I play Pokemon Blue version, completely different trainer ID. Pokemon Yellow, different trainer ID. Gold, Silver, and whatever. Every single game that you play has a different trainer ID, even though we're the same person, and there's no way to link that and share the same ID. And it bothers me because, like, if I trade my Pokemon from Gen 1 to 2 to 3 and move on, it sucks that it looks at it like a completely different trainer. On one hand, it makes sense, because obviously we're playing as Ethan right now in Gen 2, and then in Gen 1 we were playing as Red. 2 different people completely, but the same person playing the game. In the same vein, it also makes sense not to have that be a feature, because if it was the same trainer ID, then you would be able to have, like, whatever your Pokemon ends up in, like, level strength by the end of the game that you've beaten. So for me, it was like, what, between 40 and 55, beating Red, Blue, and Yellow. Trade them over, same ID, you're the same trainer, then you'd be able to stomp everyone immediately. So that makes sense, you shouldn't be able to do that. But with the method that we followed in the last episode, I'm wondering if the trainer ID is the same for these guys. Let's see, hold on, let's take a look. Okay, so move, berry, OT, train. Okay, so 61081, 61081. Interesting, so they are all the same. And I'm wondering if that's because we loaded the game. It makes sense why it's like that, but I was curious about that myself. Let's see, so 61081, yeah, that's my number. Okay. I find that whole thing fascinating. Like, I just wish there was a way to sync it over. Like, if they had some sort of way where it was like, okay, you can have the same trainer ID, so that way it's consistent across all games, but there are limitations, so that way you can't take advantage of, like, Pokemon that are high level that you move to a brand new, fresh start on a later game and take advantage of its level strength. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. That was just something that I was thinking about. But anyway, right now we have Totodile and Cyndaquil in the team, Water and Fire. Not exactly an advantageous element over Falkner in his flying type. And I think he has a Pidgeotto and something else, but I can't remember what they are, what his team consists of. But let's explore Violet City and see what's going on here. Ghosts are rumored to appear in Sprout Tower. They said normal type Pokemon moves had no effect on ghosts. Actually, do I have to go to Sprout Tower first before I fight him? I also love how the houses look in this. They're very Japanese. Especially this one. Holy crap. A Pokemon you get in a trade grows quickly. But if you don't have the right gym badge, they may disobey. We were just talking about that. I collect Pokemon. Do you have Bellsprout? Want to trade it for my Onix? No. I think I can catch Onix in this game if I want to. I don't think it's a version exclusive. Cut. So it's just the Violet City sign. Violet City, a city of nostalgic scents. Is this what I think it is? No. Earl's Pokemon Academy. I traded my best Pokemon to the guy beside me. That was dumb. Huh? The Pokemon I just got, it's holding something. A Pokemon holding a berry will heal itself in battle. Many other items can be held by Pokemon. It sure is tough taking notes. I'm taking notes at the teacher's lecture. I'd better copy this stuff on the blackboard too. There's nothing really here that I need to know right now, I don't think. I just wanted to take a look and check it out. I'm stoked to have both starters. It does feel a little weird. I kind of feel dirty about it. But because there was no external cheats, like, I don't feel that bad. Like, I've always felt that if you can, like, follow an exploit in a game, then, as far as I'm concerned, if it's programmed that way and you can do it without any external element or influence that's, like, impacting or changing the way the game functions, it's legit as far as I'm concerned. Falkner from the Violet Pokemon Gym is a fine trainer. He inherited his father's gym and has done a great job with it. So I might be able to jump in there and beat him down really fast. Whoa. Hello, are you a trainer? Battle gym leader. Wait, what? Oh, he speaks weird. Okay, I thought I was like reading a typo. Battle gym leader, when you did? Not yet. Is that so? Then study shall you. Follow me. What is happening here? Here, teacher I am. Good it is you study here. I'm okay, freak. That's weird. Kind of felt weird saying freak just now. Almost like that was like a derogatory insult. Take it back. I don't know. He doesn't choose to be the way he is. I saw a wiggly tree up ahead. If you touch it, and it squirms and dances, cool. Interesting. So there are a bunch of trees that you can use the move Headbutt on to knock down certain Pokemon. And Heracross was a Pokemon that you can get from doing that, and that Heracross is actually on the list of Pokemon that I wanted, but once I realized how complicated it can be to get Heracross, I kind of gave up. But then I looked into it a little bit further, and I found that apparently there's like sectors of trees in certain locations of the game that have certain Pokemon that fall from them if you headbutt them, Heracross being one. But there are certain designated quadrants that are dependent upon what your trainer ID number is. And if you have like a certain number, like, I don't remember the number combination off the top of my head, but, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 has a certain location in the game where you will find Heracross if you headbutt. I think it's like a 5 or 10% chance to see Heracross like fall out of a tree that you headbutt, but it's only in specific areas. If your trainer ID is like 1, 2, 3, 4. If your trainer ID is like 5, 6, 7, 8, it's a completely different location. But they're all kind of close to each other, so it's not like too much of a pain from what I remember reading. But I found that fascinating. I had no idea it was like that. She uses the names of her favorite things to eat. For the nicknames she gives to her Pokemon, I mean. Interesting. What Pokemon are you? I call my Pidgey Strawberry. Oh, well, okay. The answer's that. No, thank you. Alright, I think Violet City is relatively small. The only thing that's really interesting here is Bellsprout Tower. I don't know if we need to... Route 36. I like that it has signs telling me where stuff's at. Sprout Tower will be something that we do probably the next episode. What I want to do now is I want to knock out Falkner. Unless we go inside and there's like something that interferes with our ability to take him on. We're going to do that now. Hey, you're a Pokemon trainer. If you beat the gym leader here, you'll be ready for prime time. Okay. Experience the way of Pokemon. Okay. So we'll do Sprout Tower in the next episode. For now, though, I want to do the gym. We're here. I want to take that on. Hey, I'm no trainer, but I can give some advice. Believe me. If you believe me, a championship dream can come true. You believe me? Then listen. The grass type is weak against flying type. Keep this in mind. Yes, that does make sense, but I'm not using grass type. Okay. Man, I wish he said champ in the making, or champ in making like the first guy. Loved that guy so much. Alright, so we've got Totodile out first. They're both at a relatively high level, so they should be fine taking him on. But I will get the experience. Also, notice how fast they run this time. It's pretty good. Let me see if you're good enough to face Falkner. Shouldn't be a problem. I doubt it's that, but he's going to be that tough. Birdkeeper Abe wants to battle. Birdkeeper Abe sent out SPEAROW. Oh, so it is going to be a bit of a challenge, a level 9. I wonder if it follows the same philosophy that we talked about in the first game, where when a trainer has one Pokemon, or like two, but most of the time when it's one, it's like an outlier in a very high level, relatively speaking, compared to like the surrounding trainers that may be in the area. If someone has more Pokemon on their team, then it's likely their level is going to be fairly low. So if you're high, if you have a single Pokemon, you're likely to have a high level. If you have a bunch of Pokemon on your team, likely to be a low level. Nice. We took some damage, but I'm not going to heal up just yet. Alright, let's go ahead and swap out. I'm going to put Cyndaquil up front. Yeah, I'm just considering what my team is going to be in this game, and I'm very excited about it. I think this game is going to afford me, like, almost... Yeah, it's going to afford me a team that I really, really, really want to see taking on the Elite Four. The keyword is guts. Those here are training night and day to become bird Pokemon masters. Okay. Kind of a weak dream if you ask me. But who am I, you know, to squat on someone's dreams? I mean, my dream is to hit 100,000 subscribers someday. We're on our way, though. At the time of this video, which is the date today? So right now it's 11:30 p.m. on Wednesday, June 7th, 2023. In this exact moment, as I'm looking at my YouTube dashboard, we're at 9,163 subscribers, which is more than I ever thought this channel was going to get. And I've been getting a lot of support. You guys have been really great. And what's even crazier, too, is I did Pokemon Blue just because I was really looking forward to playing Gen 1 Pokemon games. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do Pokemon Blue. And it blew up in terms of, again, the term relative I'm using, but relative to me. My channel doesn't get a lot of views, but it you know, it gets enough to make this worth it. But Pokemon Blue got way more views than most of my other videos. Something happened during that time, and then a lot of my other videos started getting a little bit more attention. And so I don't know if I got picked up in some algorithm or what, I don't know. But like, I know that YouTube had been pushing me some way because I was getting some comments were like, oh wow, like I just found your channel through the recommended, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. I didn't know I was appearing in that. That's pretty sweet. But people have been very nice, very kind in the comments in that regard, and Pokemon Blue is a really big turning point for me. And so then I jumped into Pokemon Yellow immediately after that. And Pokemon Yellow got even more views than Pokemon Blue did, and a lot more like comments and likes and like community engagement. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. And so then this is the 4th episode of our Pokemon Gold playthrough, and it already has twice the views of Pokemon Yellow at the exact same well, after Pokemon Yellow is done, this has twice as many views at the exact same pace. It's insane. I'm shocked at that. Absolutely shocked. I can't believe it. I'm looking at the Pokemon Gold playthroughs, and I'm already seeing like in like 24 hours, the first episode got like twice as many views as it's just nuts. It's just like, it's super cool, and I'm really happy about it. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why it's happening. I know I wasn't gonna heal up, but like, come on, I'm about to fight a gym leader. I gotta be ready for this. I don't know. It's crazy. I'm having a great time with Pokemon Gold, and I'm super duper stoked on this because it's my favorite Pokemon game. Pokemon Gold is, and people have been like kind of crapping on me a little bit because I like this game more than Crystal. And real quick before we fight Falkner, I'm just gonna say I feel like it's important to clarify this because I've gotten this question more than once. Why Pokemon Gold over Crystal? Well, there's a couple things. So people are finding my channel based off of some videos that have been posting. I don't know if maybe I'm tagging it better. I don't know if like the hashtags and stuff in the videos are causing it to be exposed, and people are seeing individual videos and they're deciding to watch that playthrough. But I have over 100 completed games on my channel already. So there's a lot of stuff there, and one of those is Pokemon Crystal, which is complete in the sense that I can't go back to do anymore because my save file got corrupt. I think it got corrupt right when I got to Johto, or sorry, when I got to Kanto. So once we're done with Johto and we were going to Kanto, it got corrupt. I will go back and I'm going to completely redo that playthrough. I'm going to leave that one up just because it's been on the channel for so long, but I'm going to have a second Pokemon Crystal entry where I will beat the game from start to finish, including Kanto. So it's like, well, for one, I have already beaten Crystal in a matter of speaking. And for two, Pokemon Gold is not objectively a better game than Crystal. Pokemon Gold is such a big deal to me because, and I've talked about this at great length, because it was the first time that we were ever introduced into a whole new experience in Pokemon. Gen 1, from Red and Blue to Yellow, which is all Gen 1, Yellow didn't expand much except for having some additional sprites and following a loose story relating to Ash and that whole anime thing. But we didn't know that there was going to be Gen 2. We had no idea. When there were leaks and stuff that were coming out about brand new Pokemon, and we were starting to see Japanese images, we didn't know if they were real or not because the internet was still new, and we had no idea what we were looking at. Things were so easily faked back then. And so when it was finally revealed that Pokemon Gold and Silver were a thing, like, I immediately went to Gold because I thought Ho-Oh looked freaking dope. I love the box art, the cartridge that's gold, and I'm like, gold is worth more than silver, and I'm attracted to that because I'm a materialist. I don't know, whatever. And so I was just like super excited about it. But then I got grounded and I wasn't able to play Pokemon Gold for 2 weeks. And so my friends and everybody else were just diving into Pokemon Gold and Silver on themselves, and they were 2 weeks ahead of me, and finally I was able to play it. And I just had this crazy anxiety about not playing, and I had to like watch other people play, like their little handhelds. I had to watch on that tiny screen as other people are playing that, and that was really tough for me. And so it was just a really big pivotal moment in my life as a gamer, as a Pokemon fan, blah 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 blah, whatever. And Crystal is objectively a better game by all of its redesigns. It has everything that Pokemon Gold and Silver does and doesn't, which makes it fantastic. But obviously, like, Pokemon Gold means more to me personally, so that's why I chose it. And also, one final thing, and we'll get on with it. The other thing is that initially when I was doing Pokemon games, I started with Pokemon Red and then I jumped into Crystal for some stupid reason. I don't know why I did that. And then I stopped doing Pokemon for I stopped doing YouTube for like 6 years. And then I came back out of nowhere and was like, welcome guys, I'm continuing YouTube again. Let's jump into Pokemon Emerald. And so I went through and I did all the remasters. So I went from Emerald to Platinum, and then Gen 5 didn't have a remaster, and I did Pokemon Black version. And then once I got to Pokemon Black, I was like, you know what? I did Fire Red. Sorry, I did Fire Red as well because there wasn't a remaster with those. Those are remakes on their own. So maybe Fire Red and Leaf Green were sort of remastered, whatever. You get what I'm saying. So I did Fire Red, and then I got to Black. And then after I got to Black, I took a break from Pokemon, and I was like, what I should have done was I should have done like one of the first generation entries. I should have done Red, then I should have jumped into Gold, and then I should have jumped into like Ruby or Sapphire and did the base games, one base game each, and then all the way to Gen 5 just because of the art style. Then start over and do the opposite game. So if I started with Red, I should have done Blue, and then I should have gone to Silver, and then I should have gone to, you know, whatever. And then once all that was done, should have done the remasters. And then that's what I should have done, but I didn't do it that way. I screwed myself over. So now I'm trying to follow that as loosely as I can. And so I was just like, all right, I did all the remasters. I'm going to go, or the remakes. So I'm like, all right, I'll just do Blue and Yellow, and then we'll just knock out all of Gen 1, and then we'll go to Gold, and then we'll go to like Ruby or Sapphire, and then we'll go to blah, 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 and then we'll start all over, and then we'll do Silver, and then we'll do Ruby or Sapphire, whichever one I didn't do, and then so on. I'm rambling, sorry, but I got this question a lot, and I just felt like it was important to explain. And plus, I need to pad this video to make it longer. So, anyway, we're here now. Let's beat Falkner. I know. God, I'm sorry that took way too long for the explanation, but I'm Falkner, the Violet Pokemon Gym Leader. People say you can clip flying-type Pokemon's wings with a jolt of electricity. I won't allow such insults to bird Pokemon. I'll show you the real power of the magnificent bird Pokemon. Okay, you said bird Pokemon a little bit too close together. You could have said something else to give yourself a little bit more of a quality set of articulation, but you're a gym leader, Falkner. What do I know? Wait, so this guy was sitting here trying to, like... Why would he have a level 7 Pidgey? That's insanity. The trainer that we fought in the beginning, his Pokemon was stronger than this Pidgey. Well, maybe his stats are probably better, because that Pidgey took a really big hit. Why would you have a level 7 when you have a bird trainer at the entrance with a level 9? Falkner should have had at least a level 9 as his base. Also, too, I don't even know. Can you get an electric type Pokemon by this point in the game? I don't think you can. Still, though, like, it wasn't an insult to bird Pokemon. That's just their that's their inherent weakness. I'll throw Cyndaquil out just to mix it up. Pidgeotto looks pretty cool. And also a level 9? I feel like his Pokemon should have been level 12 and level 9. That's what I should feel like they should have done. Pidgeotto's probably going to knock Cyndaquil out, though. We have level advantage, but Pidgeotto has evolutionary strength advantage. His stats are way better. And that, you see that? Yeah. That's why his level isn't so high, is because his Pidgeotto can do some major damage. Should have gave him another berry. Oh, not good. But I hope that, I know I was rambling a little bit about what my thought process was behind the generations, but I hope that made sense, because that was the goal. If I could go back, sorry, Cynical. If I could go back and redo it, I would. But I mean, I guess I could, but I won't. So I guess that's not true. But I just, I don't know. There's been a lot of support on the channel and stuff like that, and I have a philosophy in my head on how I want to handle things, and it might not make sense, but there is a reason for it. Like, I do have reasons for why I want to do this. And so what I think what my ultimate goal is too is when we do get to Crystal, since people are asking so much, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start from scratch, and then I'm gonna add all the videos into 2 distinct playlists. One of them is going to be the Crystal replay playlist, and the other one is going to be the original Crystal playthrough. So that way, those that actually do want to sit through the original, like old school Marcanine, like way back in the day before I even went by Marcanine, that like way back then, if you want to watch that playthrough, you can like get all the way to the end and then see me be like, hey, my file got corrupt, we're starting over. Or you can just be like, you know, I'm not going to watch the original playthrough. We're going to go to the new and improved current Marcanine stuff. Nice. Leader Falkner was defeated. Yeah, this guy was like a total cream puff. He did a little more damage than I expected, but it wasn't even a challenge. Darn, my dad's cherished bird Pokemon. Cherished? It was a Pidgey, dude. All right, take this. It's the official Pokemon League Zephyr badge. Mark received the Zephyr badge. Zephyr badge raises the attack power of Pokemon. It also enables Pokemon to use Flash if they have it anytime. Here, take this too. So what is this one? By using a TM, a Pokemon will instantly learn a new move. Think before you act. A TM can be used only once. TM31 contains Mud Slap. It reduces the enemy's accuracy while it causes damage. In other words, it is both defensive and offensive. Cool. And this game is just so beautiful. Love it, love it, love it so much. Alright, cool. I hope something's happening here. Oh, Elm, what do you want now? Hello, Mark. We discovered something about the egg. My assistant is at the Pokemon Center in Violet City. Could you talk to him? Click. I would save that for the next episode of the playthrough, but I would most definitely forget to do that. So let's go ahead and pop in here, heal up, and then talk to the aide in a second. Good evening, you're out late. I love that. I love the personalization that they have, recognizing like the time and stuff. That's really freaking cool. And I asked when I first started the game, I was like, okay, so if I chose a certain time of day that was like late in the afternoon, the character responds by saying it's super late and they need to, you know, get going on their journey. But I was like, well, what if I set it to 4 a.m. before you're expected to do anything? And so when I started over doing the method that you saw in the last video about how to get all 3 starters at the beginning of the game, I tested that out and it was like, oh, it's, you know, it's early. No wonder it's still dark. That type of thing is what I said. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Mark, long time no see. Professor Elm asked me to find you. He has another favor to ask. Would you take the Pokemon egg? Sure, man. We discovered that a Pokemon will not hatch until it grows in the egg. It also has to be with other active Pokemon to hatch. Mark, you're the only person we can rely on. Please call Professor Elm when that egg hatches. So I don't remember. Does this actually count as a... It does. Okay, so this is what... I know what's going to happen here. Let's see. I'm going to do something real quick. What is... Yeah, that's what I wanted. That's exactly what I was looking for. Let's see. Okay, hold up. Bear with me a second. I got something coming here. Okay. All right, let's see. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to put that on as like a Pokemon on the team, because I think that's going to be significant. Yeah, okay. because I think this is going to, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that this is actually going to turn into the Pokemon that I'm thinking of. And I'm sure you already know this as well, but, okay, so let's go ahead and add this. I'm going to put this on here. I do this live, which is dumb because I could totally do it, like, you know. Bing. All right, so we're going to put ourselves, give ourselves a little bit of an egg partner here. I don't have an animated one, so we're just going to go ahead and stick it there. Should I make it smaller? No, that's about right. That's fine. That's okay. Okay, cool. And that's the egg. So there we go. Sweet. All right, my friends, there we go. So we're going to take on the endeavor, whatever is going to happen, I guess, in the Sprout Tower. Bellsprout Tower? Sprout Tower? Whatever. We're going to deal with that in the next episode of the playthrough. So I think for now, we're going to go ahead and just save it right here. We've got 2 Pokemon on our team. Again, Totodile is going to stick around. I don't know if Cyndaquil will make it to the Elite Four. Probably not, because I have some other fire types that I'm considering putting on the team, and I don't want Cyndaquil on there since he's only singular fire type, whereas there's some other really cool dual types out there. So, but we'll talk more about that later. Nonetheless, though, we'll wrap it up here. We got a badge, we got some Pokemon, we are in great shape. I'm stoked about that, and thank you for listening to me ramble, because I know there's a lot of stuff that I talk about that you probably don't care about that much, but still, I'm going to pretend that you do. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. Take care of yourselves, be well, and I hope to see you when we continue with more of our Pokemon Gold playthrough tomorrow. New episodes will debut each and every day at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time right here on the Marcanine channel. Before you go, don't forget to show your love, of course, if you care to do that, by hitting the like button. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Please do that. Any feedback for me, leave it in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I do reply to all comments, at least the very first comment that you'll leave. So that way, if you want to engage in a conversation with me, you can do that. Otherwise, you can join the Marcanine community Discord server and at me anytime. I'm very active in the Discord there. And the link for that is found in the description box below, so you can take a look at that. But otherwise, that's a wrap on this episode, and I hope to see you next time when we continue on with more of the playthrough. All right, guys, that's it for me. Take care. I'll see you around.